why this doesn't work for you, why you need to stop doing this. Use AI, but not to write your whole content. There are people who are not meant to awaken in this lifetime, and they might be here to show you contrast. And unfortunately for them, like if they're the ones like creating karma in your life, and that's what they came into your life to create, you can handle more. If this is resonating with you, it's not about it's actually going to be harder to stay stuck where you are, especially if this is your mission and sacred calling.
Welcome to the Conscious Creative Podcast, your weekly dose of soul-to-soul conversation that will have you saying peace out to your 9 to 5 to explore in your sacred calling. The topics center around conscious business and interviews with the folks who started them. We'll be exploring the art of being human and what it takes to live your life fully expressed and financially free.
Hello there, spiritual entrepreneurs, conscious creators, soul-led leaders. I am so thrilled to be back with you today for the live recording of the Conscious Creative Podcast. I'm Christina Gomes. I'm your host. I'm your six-figure biz bestie, wild one on your side. I'm here to teach what has taken me so many years to learn. I am here on this earth to compact that into easily digestible trainings and lessons and transmissions so that you don't need to invest $100,000 like I did to change your life, and so that you do not need to take as long as I did to completely transform my life. Before we get into today's lesson, which the topic is the hidden habits keeping soul-led leaders stuck, even the smart, successful ones. Yes, that's you. Hello, raise your hand if you're smart and successful. Like, you know that you have reached certain levels of success in multiple areas of life. And now, just as life would have it, you are going for your next era. You feel a next era rising from within you. And so your old tricks might not be working. You might have taken an income dip. You might have had a lot of success as a corporate baddie, but now you want to have your next era be fully you, and you being financially free from your gifts, your presence, your wisdom, your certifications, the things that you've studied through the school of life and through books and certifications, your tools that you've practiced on yourself to transform your life. You also want to pass on the knowledge. You're a teacher, a coach, a mentor, a healer, or high value guide, and you have a next era beckoning you home. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. And I wanted to first comment on my above average hair today. Stay with me because it will all make sense as we keep going. But I last night, or over the past few weeks, I've been rewatching some curly girl videos. When I was traveling through Europe, through Southeast Asia, throughout the world, the in my 30s, so I'm in my 40s now, so I spent a little under a decade traveling. I've been here where I live in Central America as an expat for about 6, 7, 8 years. I came, went, and came and stayed put. But before that, I was nomadic. And nomadic, like, I looked like a hippie. I was like wild hair, like this hair, like look at this hair, right? It was wild, it was free, but I wanted to, as I was stepping into a next era, even back then, I wanted to already present myself like I didn't live in a tent in hostels. And I did live in tents and hostels, but I wanted to look like the next era I was calling in. And so I started watching curly girl videos. And if we take it back even further, I grew up with raised by my white mama with obviously not white girl hair, My father is half Portuguese, half Cape Verdean, and even Cape Verdean people are half African and half Portuguese. So I am way mixed. And I had this unruly hair. And my mom would straighten it or she would brush it, and she just couldn't figure it out. It's just different kind of hair. And so, bless my white mama's heart, I really had like big frowy hair, and I only learned how to do my own hair. I straightened it in my 20s. And then when I really wanted to be more natural, and I was traveling, so there was no choice. Like I was living in forests and traveling. I lived in a van for a while. It was a very wild and free life. And, I was starting to come closer to mid 30s. I'm 41 now, but I was starting to come closer to mid 30s. And I was like, hey, like I want to elevate my life. I want to get to my next era. I want to be financially free, and teaching yoga in the forest for basically pennies and singing songs for coins in a hat was so fun. The path of the renunciant to release, lots of money as a psychotherapist, to release all that in a stable career and a fancy pants um, line of business or line of careers. I was a psychotherapist, getting consistent paychecks, having a salary, and to leave all that behind to sing for songs, sing for coins in a hat, busking in street corners and teaching yoga in Morocco. It was cool. And at some point on the journey, I just wanted to elevate. And I started with my hair, which is very interesting. I started with my hair, and I was learning from all these curly girls who had these YouTubes, which also made me realize that like anybody could put themselves online and speak about what they were interested in and build an audience and a following and people to sell to, that were like interested in more than just the product itself, but interested in the human delivering the product. And I would watch these curly girl videos, and I would do the steps, and I would have this remarkable hair, and people would comment on it. And I just felt better. I felt more magnetic. And yes, my offering started to feel more as a byproduct, but the byproduct was who I was being. And the time and effort that I was taking to present myself in a way that made me feel good from the inside out. So yes, this is the external. This is, above average hair, but it takes a lot more time. This hair, so last night I put product, made sections, put product in every section, did the correct curl brushing, slept in a special bonnet for this hair. And then this morning, put the oil in, uncurled the curls. It's time and presence and effort. And everybody in the cult of average will say that they don't have time, and that's fine. But anybody still working with the I don't have time excuse, first of all, you want to join me in my school, because I just taught an amazing lesson that blew everybody's mind and gave them back their time with what I call the time reclamation ritual. And we did beautiful work auditing our time, but mostly this is for each and every one of us to become somebody who bends time at our will and moves energy in a direction where we are primed for results. So if you make a triangle with your hand and then you split that triangle up into threes, there are three forces. So also the triangle has 3 points. So there are three forces to any creative aim, represented by the 3 points. And there are three levels to many, many things, but there are three levels to business, and there are three levels to spirituality. And I just happen to teach both the spiritual side of things and the practical business, conscious creating side of things, where you're really getting into skill and business skills that most flowy nature lovers might not have when they're first starting out, or when they're getting to that next level. So you probably have that first level, average level skills in putting yourself out there. If you've been filling up your one-off sessions, or you have this magnetic energy that people are like, hey, what's going on? Like, what's up in your life? Like, I want what she's having. Then you have basic level skills of transformation. And we all have that. But what I want to talk about here are hidden habits. So, hidden habits that are actually keeping you stuck. So you have habits that are amazing, like things that are non-negotiable. You wake up every day and you brush your teeth, right? Otherwise, you have a stinky ass mouth, and that's not what anybody out of um, living in the cult of average, yeah, you can get away with that. But like if you are rising to become someone who is extraordinary, I mean, basic hygiene is a thing. But then as we awaken to forget and awaken to forget, I forgot that I could take the time and presence and energy to get my hair to look like I really want it to. And sure, it took more time, presence, and energy, but it was really worth it. And the same goes for your next era habits. So you've built a level of success that you're like, this is great. But probably if you're resonating with my content, then you've come to an income plateau, or worse, an income dip. And we're going to talk about this in a moment. But this has happened to me throughout my career where I'm like rolling in the dough. And then there comes a moment where I'm on this plateau. And there are different techniques and different energy application of energy right where you need it most that is going to elevate you out of the average results, the income plateau, the basic kind of content that you're just following trends and trending audio, the same thing that you're hearing on repeat and that you might be applying in your business, but that just isn't working for you. And so I have different hair than a lot of people. And I found it really funny when like these white girls would come up to me and be like, oh, this is what you do with your hair. And this is what you do. And this is how my hair works. It's like, we have different hair, completely different hair. And so I follow the curly girl method from different, not even just any curly girl. Like there, if you're a curly girl, then you know, like there's 3C, 2C, there's like labels to your hair. And labeling, sure, labeling can set you back in some dimensions, but honestly, when you understand the pathway forward based on your type of hair, based on where you're at in your business, then we can together create a uh, personalized a personalized plan. However, all personalized plans that I create with my clients run on an objective system called the Creative Compass. If you research this, it's not called the Creative Compass in occult wisdom, it's called the Enneagram. And if you research the hero's journey, the myth of all myths, the hero's journey, and the master of all systems, the Enneagram, I have combined these two occult wisdom practices into what I call the Creative Compass. So if you search the Creative Compass, you may come across my work, but I'm the one who put these two together. Because the basic level marketing, um, social media marketing 101, um, messaging 101, it wasn't working for me anymore. Just like basic run of the mill, oh, you've got to condition your hair, wasn't working for me with my type of hair. So in my work, I help you to see where you are. And all people think they're further along than they are. Like when I was first learning about enlightenment through a special yoga lineage called Vedanta. So this is a special philosophy. It's like a sister science to yoga itself. And even within yoga, it can be like spread into separated into different philosophies within yoga lineage. And we all know that you might practice hatha, you might practice kundalini, you might practice ashtanga, but there is a root where everything comes from the Vedas. Now, these are the oldest spiritual books ever written. And I sat with a monk for 3 years on and off. So I didn't just learn yoga poses and asanas and the moves and the exercises. I learned the deepest philosophy that changed my life. And I was initiated into second level teachings without knowing it, because my teacher at the time was this monk. And so he wasn't working in, there was levels that he was working in, and there's different ways to describe the levels within Vedantic philosophy. However, it's not what I've memorized, because now, and I'm the kind of seeker that like wants to learn about everything. So I went on and I studied shamanic principles, and I went on and I studied um, with cacao facilitators in the land that I live in now. And I went on and I studied different dance practices, and even twerking has completely changed my life. And so, as a Gemini North Node, I also studied astrology, but Geminis love variety. And also, there is a path known as the learned and the sage that awakens from all matters around. Like anything can awaken you. And this is such a beautiful path, because when you really get into different philosophies, you understand that it's all saying the same ish things. And religion is always at the basic foundation of, if you make the triangle, 3 levels, it's always in the exoteric. Religion is exoteric by nature. So the metaphor for exotericism is like anybody can come to the temple. I traveled to Turkey and I was in front of these beautiful temples, but I have no idea about the Islamic traditions or religion. But I'm looking at this temple and feeling something, these mosques, feeling something in my bones, right? And every religion has different temple experiences. So we have the mosques, we have the churches, we have temples, and even in pagan traditions, we have red tents. So there's such beautiful containers for when you step inside and you get to sit with the monks. This is second level teachings, and at the second level teachings, you're going to get much more myth, parable, and stories that are not um, just your own. So right now, you might be unconsciously going from the exoteric into the mesoteric, and then esoteric is the deepest, most secret. It's like the hidden rooms in the temples that even those who are studying there don't get access to. You have to be the high priestess, you have to be the high priest to go into those rooms. And this is cross culturally, across different religions, across time and space. You see the same patterns again and again and again. And so, gatekeepers of religions or gatekeepers of knowledge have been necessary in the past, because in the past it was true that not everybody would know what to do with this wisdom and knowledge. And it's not meant for everybody. There are people who are not meant to awaken in this lifetime, and they might be here to show you contrast. And unfortunately for them, like if they're the ones like creating karma in your life, and that's what they came into your life to create, this shitty situation so that you could elevate and learn what you need to learn and learn those lessons. That's okay. That's that comic contract. You can wash your hands of it and you can continue to elevate on your own unique journey. So that's very beautiful. And everybody on their unique journey to elevate from basic bitch teachings. I mean, I love the word bitch. I'm like, hey, bitch. But basic teachings into elevated teachings so that you become an elevated teacher. You become somebody who shares knowledge that is going beyond what your people have heard again and again and again. So if you're a manifestation guide, there's going to be a next level within that you are ready to teach, that you are ready to share. If you are a transformational, I work with transformational guides of all across industries, across niches. It's not important to me that you are like, call yourself a certain thing. What's important to me is that you understand how to help people transform using the tools that you are certified in, that you have learned, that you have practiced on yourself. You're a woman practicing the principles that you teach, maybe a man in this case, but you are someone who walks your walk, talks your talk. But when it comes to business, the basic level understandings of business are just not cutting it for you. Just like the basic understandings of, yes, I might need to eat, not eat McDonald's anymore. Like, no shit, right? And you teach your people something deeper, something that needs needs their attention, but like when they have your attention and you are by their side, they transform in much more deep ways and in lasting ways, right? We all need guides. Coaches need coaches, mentors need mentors, healers need healers. We all need folks on our side to help teach us and initiate us into the next level. So that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to get into the hidden habits in just a moment, but I am not just here to teach you things that you already know. I'm here to initiate you into that next level. That's why I don't just give you self paced offerings. My self paced offerings are usually that door for you to understand that you are ready to go to that next era, that next level. You are ready to come off the income plateau. You are ready to reverse an income dip. And what I have to teach you in the space that am going to hold for you, if you choose to continue on with me, is going to be like nothing you've ever experienced before. I know this because there are very few people who have been initiated into the occult wisdom, not cult, but the occult wisdom. Occult just means hidden, secret wisdom. And it's now bringing its way out. Like 8 years ago, when I came to the land of cacao, cacao was new. It was coming out in little doses, and that was what we could handle because a heart chakra was closed for the collective. It was closed, and the medicine of cacao started making its way out to open our heart chakras. Yeah. And now everybody's doing cacao ceremonies. Everybody's initiated into the art of cacao. And I was initiated by Nana Maria on the land of cacao, where cacao first started to become popularized in Guatemala and started to make its way out of the jungle and into the minds and hearts and souls and communities where where this spirit was needed. And so there are very few initiated into what I teach. And it's not just the teaching. Like, I'm not just going to teach you about the creative compass, the master of all systems, and the myth of all myths. If you want to learn this, comment initiate me, and I will get you the book I wrote on this and the lesson called Soul Money Mastery, which is the first lesson of a vision quest that I've been taking folks on, initiates on, self initiate. So you can self initiate, but you need a living teacher to initiate you. So I'm alive, flesh and blood, to help it make sense for you and your path and your special hair and your specialized mission that is completely and totally unique. Everybody's birth chart is unique. So there are no, I mean, maybe find one, two birth charts the exact same. Even twins are born minutes apart and maybe have different birth charts. And so, and even if you have a similar birth chart, you have different life experiences. And so I work with your natal chart. I work with your human design. I work with these wisdom, ancient wisdom traditions, and I combine it all into a pathway for you, and I walk it with you in whatever time frame that you want to join me so that you don't have to do this alone. I initiate you. I don't just teach and I don't just coach, The combination of teaching and coaching and guidance and being able to see what you might not be able to see, and that depth of coaching, this is how the initiation happens, so that you go from income plateau in the cult of average. Now I'm saying cult because there is a cult that has taken over the world, and it is average minded, average thinking people who believe anybody shaped with a suit of power. I have a badge that says I'm a president. And then you just believe everything they say. But when you listen with your heart to these so called leaders, you're like, this is for dum dums. The way that they speak is for dum dums, and dum dums are easy to control. You're probably not a dum dum. I know I'm not insulting you because you're probably not a dum dum if you're like still in this space. But I watched the every time I watch anything political, I'm like, this show is for dum dums. And it's for people stuck in duality. It's for people stuck in duality. Yes, this is a dualistic world. There is night, there is day, there's Republican, there's what is the other Democrat, there is black, there is white. But like, is there black and white? I am literally a mixed upon mixed baby. Like, my father grew up as an African American in an African American life, an African American culture, and his culture was nuanced. He was half Cape Verdean and half Portuguese. And then the Cape Verdean people are half African and half Portuguese. So I'm not here to divide myself up in a percentage of culture and say, oh, I am this much black. Like, I am a whole and unique being with ancestral wisdom running through my DNA, because we are all mixed. There are not black and white people. There are nuanced expressions. Race is a construct created by folks who can benefit from it, but created by folks who can benefit from it. And folks who are living in the oppressive systems that race has caused. Like, this is valid. I'm not saying that race doesn't exist. It exists, but exists as something that has been um, confining people to this life. This is what you are created for. This is what your skin color says that you are capable of. These are your role models. And that's great. Like, we want to find people who look like us. We want to find people who are like us to prove that we can do it too. But what if you just admitted that you could do it without needing the proof? And this is a second level teaching, because there's proof hidden in symbols, in myth, in archetypes, and that's where we're going to take it if you choose to keep going with me. But let me now go into the 4 hidden habits that are keeping even the smart, successful, soul-led leaders stuck in the cult of average. So the first mistake, the first habit that is keeping you in the cult of average is collapsing your power during an income dip. So I said in the beginning of this call, that in the beginning of this transmission and session, that I have had income dips. This is the nature of reality. It's the nature of business as well. There is no guarantee that we are going to get a certain paycheck every month. There's ways to make it more consistent, meaning reoccurring revenue, an offer that allows you for monthly reoccurring revenue. So people are paying you a certain amount. It doesn't even have to be a membership. I have reoccurring revenue. My offer isn't technically a membership. Yes, it's community, and I require a 6-month devotional if you join at the school level, because it is very affordable. But affordable doesn't mean that I am cheap. And like, it's not going to work if you don't commit for 6 months. It's not going to work. Your business, you need to devote and commit to for, if you're here on the path of mastery, then for the rest of your life. I'm not going to stop teaching and coaching and guiding and being there for people. This is my mission. When I'm 80, I will be doing it, maybe not in the business aspect, but this is my mission. My mission isn't my business, it's my sacred calling. And so I'm called to do this. And right now, the way that the world is, if I don't create a business that supports it, then I need to be doing things that are not my mission to support myself. And I'm not about that life. So my business is my sacred calling, but my sacred calling is deeper than that. I will teach and I will guide and I will host and I will write books for the rest of my life. So maybe when I'm 80, I will have multiple books that compact the teachings into even more bite-sized information. I did write a book. Again, comment initiate me. I've written several books, but comment initiate me if you want more on exactly what I'm talking about today. And yes, I've had income dips. And there will be moments where I want to collapse because it feels so heavy because you're rising, and we're taught in the self development space that you always must be rising. Even I had a group called Soulpreneurs on the Rise. And it's like, yes, we want to rise. We want to rise out of the cult of average. And when we're out of the cult of average and we're in that next era, you are welcome to luxuriate and sustain that era for a while, because whenever you're coming to the next era, it's difficult. You have to come with the curiosity of a child. And right now, you've had so much success and you've done remarkable things that it is sometimes harder to be like, I have so much to learn, than it is to like stay where you are. But that income dip is showing you that your old tricks aren't working. We need to elevate. We need real business systems. We need sustainable, repeatable strategies that don't ignore the magic. So the way that I teach my clients to launch, it is a magical, repeatable process. The magic is woven in just through the creative compass. The creative compass, for those of you um, on the visual tip, watching on the YouTubies, I'll just show it. But this is the creative compass. This is the Enneagram, and I've mapped the hero's journey onto this Enneagram. And so this is the step-by-step pathway that we take. And oftentimes you're collapsing during an income dip because you don't have the energetic capacity to hold this moment. And if we don't have the energetic capacity to hold this moment and not collapse and stand at the face of the wave, overwhelm means whelm. Waves are there. There'll be waves of emotion. There'll be waves of money coming in. There'll be waves of clients coming in. And sometimes my people that have come to me, it's not that they don't want more clients or they can't, their message isn't good enough. It's that when they get an influx of clients, they don't have the system set up to receive those clients. So their onboarding gets all messed up, and then they're overwhelmed and they're like, wow, I don't want to do this again. And so they collapse. They collapse in the face of handling more. But you can do hard things. You can handle more. If this is resonating with you, it's not about it's actually going to be harder to stay stuck where you are, especially if this is your mission and sacred calling. And the money is going down for a reason. So anytime that my income has taken a dip, I know that it is time to elevate. It is not time to collapse. So money is feedback. It's not the final word. Okay. So money doesn't tell you how great of a guide you are or a business owner. No, even a business owner. But it definitely doesn't tell you how great of a guide you are. The money might reflect that you need to upskill in some business things. And if you have had, just people reaching out to you going like, yeah, how can I pay you? And you send them, a Venmo link, like it's that is only going to get you so far. And if you've started to notice that that's not working for you anymore, it's because God's source, your higher self, is asking you to elevate. It's asking you to, hey, look towards your north node, look towards the North Star. which we find in your birth chart. Everybody who works with me at the mentorship level, I memorize your birth chart. I also memorize the path. That's why I can only take one person at each mentorship level. I have a 6-week level and a 4-month level. I can only take one person at each level because I memorize your birth chart. I dream about you. I have dreams for you, and I memorize your unique path, your unique path. So, which I have a birth chart reading coming up. I think you're here on the Instagrams. Just want to make sure I don't I don't miss it. We're gonna okay. We have plenty of time. Okay, great. I started this early. Amazing. I would never miss it, but I want to relook over your chart. So where was I? Yes. So money is the feedback, not the final word. Your calling doesn't just vanish because your income is kind of petering out or just on the plateau. Your calling didn't vanish. It doesn't mean that you need to find a new calling. It means that you might need to upskill with your business skills, or you might need to learn how to launch, or you need to refine your systems, or you might have a new next era offer that you're really wanting to teach, but you're afraid to mess things up by teaching the same old, same old. This is what I call the journey from safe money to soul money. And that's actually the journey I take you on with the creative compass. You're slowly learning how to release the safe money, the job that's becomes your investor in your business skills and your software. The this if you're fully working for yourself, but your one-off sessions aren't really cutting it anymore, and people really want a full length program from you on what you really want to teach. They want that. They want what you want, right? So if you are holding back or not teaching what you really want to teach for fear that the safe money will not you won't be safe anymore, well, the safe money starts to show you that, like, you're not even safe there. You'll plateau, you'll start to go down. And this happened to me when I was a psychotherapist. This is my calling. It's still in alignment with my calling to help people using depth psychology to transform their lives. Period. My calling has not changed since I was a little girl who was writing books when I was little kids books by kids for kids when I was little. Like I wanted a book writing award when I was like 9, little, whatever age I was, but in elementary school. And I remember writing the book, and we got these little blank white books. And like, I've always been called to write and teach and share. And my calling doesn't change just because I lost my job. Like, I lost my identity as a psychotherapist. I didn't need to. I didn't need to lose my identity as a soul led leader, but everything got washed away when I was attacked in my psychotherapy office. So I was attacked on the job, and then PTSD arose, and everything was unknown, and I didn't know where to go. And so I went to Thailand and I learned yoga. And same, like the call to go deep in my studies of psychology, because it's all a philosophy, it's all a psychology, it's all a way to understand the nature of being alive, right? All of these philosophies and how to live a better life, like, that's enlightenment. You get enlightened, you get turned on to a better and better way, and a better beingness for you, which is different for everybody. That's why I am offering my mentorship. So I'm going to keep going with the second habit. But before I keep going, I did want to let you know to stay on to the end, because I am going to be revealing to you um, what is the next step. So there's a free next step, there's a low cost next step, and then there's the step that is not for everybody. And I want to explain why and who it's for um, in just a moment. But two, the hidden habit. I know people who have had a lot of success and who are very, very smart, who are still treating their business like a hobby. Oh my goodness. They're like, oh yeah, I'll just write when I'm in flow. I'll just write when I'm inspired, or I'll create a reel. I only create reels when I'm inspired. And so that makes my business feel natural. It might feel natural, but is it sustainable? Are you really on the path of mastery if you cannot create real business assets unless you're inspired only? And now, yes, it makes sense for, I mean, I'm an inspirational person. I hope I'm inspiring you right now. And I am not inspired and high vibe and like excited about every single thing in my business. So I've hired out, but that was a learning curve. It took me, a lot to learn how to lead a team. It took me a lot. And now it's worth it, just like a lot of time and energy to do this, really nice hair, and um learning to lead a small team, because I don't really love to manage people. This is why coaching comes so natural to me, because I'm teaching, I'm asking questions, people are managing themselves. Like, my people are self-reliant, beautiful people who are self-responsible. They're not going to come to me and go fix my life. That's not coaching is about. That's savior complex. And if you have a coach like that, you're in a codependent relationship and run. So my clients and students ask really cool questions. They ask vulnerable questions. They share vulnerably where they're at so that I can give them the proper coaching that matches where they're at. And I don't try to fix anybody or save anybody. And I cannot, even if I wanted to, do any sort of inner work for somebody. I teach people the skills. I let them know what might be hidden in their subconscious, so they're not trying to do work that they don't need to do, and to actually do the energy practices that match where they're at, which chakra is closed, which archetype they're stepping into. All of these beautiful occult, hidden, secret wisdoms we infuse throughout all of my programs and my mentorships. And it doesn't feel overwhelming because I'm not giving you everything. I'm giving what you need, and you need something different than your colleagues. And treating your business like a business is your next era, meaning, what are your systems so that your business runs even when you're not inspired? Because you know how life works. You know how life works. You'll be flowing, you'll be inspired. And actually, this is patterned in the creative compass. This is an octave. So whenever you chime the note do of an octave, do, re, mi, you are carried by spirit all the way to the me, all the way to point three. And you will be flowing until point three. But anything extraordinary needs shocks to keep it going. It needs shocks. And so at point three comes a shock point where you're faced with this is actually maybe going to take more time than you thought. It was going to take more effort, or something comes into your awareness that you thought you worked through. And this is where you're going to be so happy that you have a mentor to guide you, so you don't make it mean that you're not cut out for this, or that you're not manifesting right, or that the universe is out to get you. You don't fall back into the cult of average, which is littered with victim consciousness, and it's littered with quitters, right? And so you may have gotten yourself to this level, and you may not have even needed a mentor, or you had one that only knew about first level teachings and taught you what they did exactly, which is a first level teaching. And I was a first level teacher for very long. I taught people what I had done, and then I was like, hey, but why doesn't it work for everyone? And then I was initiated into the occult, secret wisdom knowledge. Comment initiate me if you also want me to initiate you. I wrote a whole book about it, and I'd be very, very happy to deliver that book to you. So when we are treating our business like a hobby, when we're like, oh, with like crayons and coloring books, it's like, okay, but can you get to a place where you have standard operating procedures so that you can take a vacation, so that you can, right now, the book that I wrote, called Soul Money Mastery, the occult wisdom that, or the system that never fails. That's what I'm teaching on in this book. I wrote that last year. And so now I have my future self, which is me now, hello, with the good hair. My future self has good hair now, is thanking my past self because I already put the funnel in place. I already wrote the book. I already have the pages where it leads to. I already have the applications made. And so in the beginning, without all of these working parts, you're going to have to create them. And I created them. I took extra time. I worked more hours in the beginning than I do now. And you can't just show up and cut the line and go, okay, yeah, I want a structured business with systems in place that's making me money, even when I'm on vacation, but not build the systems and apply them into your business. So that's what we're doing together. That's the level that I'm going to take you to. And so I wrote this book. I have everything now. I'm refining it all to make sure that it's updated, that the dates match, that it makes sense, and it's aligned with any elevations that I've made over the last year. If I want to change anything, I'm not changing the book, but I might change some wording in the funnels. And that's what I'm doing. Now it takes, now building this funnel or delivering this book now takes just me one day to refine it versus maybe a few months to put the things in place, or a month, depending on how much time, energy, and presence you want to give it and how fast you want to go. Like, you don't have to go fast for fast sake, but a lot of times we're slowing down our own success because we're staying stuck, because we're like, oh, I'm not going to do it unless I'm inspired, and I gotta feel high vibe. And that's how you manifest a business is not manifestation. Business is you having a proven method, a proven offer that gets results for people. You have that tested, and now you have the means to fill it up again and again and again on repeat, so that you are getting paid for your wisdom and gifts. You deserve to be paid to deliver your gifts, period. To deliver your offers, whether they're self-paced, whether they're private mentorship or package of some sort, package of healing sessions, coaching package, or a course, a certification course, whatever it is that you are delivering, you get to deliver it and be paid for that, right? You deserve to be paid for that, okay? And we want to elevate you from being inside your business all of the time to having systems in place that you can lean back into the structure, into the masculine structure that you set up, so that you can finally go on vacation. You cannot run on fumes, especially when something has come in your life that needs your attention. Wouldn't you like to give the things in your life the attention that they need, and still make money? I know I would, and I know that I do, because I don't treat my business like a hobby, right? And spreadsheets are not what make a business. An LLC is not what makes a business, right? But you can systematize anything, says the double Virgo. People are like, but I thought you were a triple Libra. Yes, I could tell you my whole chart, but I got a double Virgo where it counts for career, and they're conjunct. So double Virgo conjunct my MC, that's about career. And so I'm a Virgo where it matters to you, and Virgos rule systems. And when you can systematize something, you can shorten, you're actually quantum leaping. You can shorten the timeline that it takes average people to make more money, to um, deliver epic experiences for people on repeat, to fill up their offers in an artful way. You quantum leap through systems. Systems are like, oh, it's so masculine, it's not spiritual. You quantum leap through systems only. Your mindset is only the first part, but right now I'm already transmitting you the proper mindset to have. Long-term thinking, uh, you're here to master it, like the proper mindset of all successful people, so that you can create the systems that you need. So then number 3 is comparing your calling to someone else's content plan. So you're comparing your calling, and then every time you see content, you're like, oh, I want to make my content like that. I want to make my content like that. And this is how we end up birthing um, mockingjays, just like people repeating what their last coach said, what the last content piece they said, like word for word, just using ChatGPT to create all of their content. And so it's really somebody else's word. Why this doesn't work for you, why you need to stop doing this. Use AI, but not to write your whole content, especially if you're a coach, a mentor, or a guide. If you have a product business, I don't really help people with product businesses unless your product is a course. Okay. But if you have a product business, sure, whatever you do with a product business. But if you're a mentor and your offerings are literally about the way that you guide people, and your whole piece was written by ChatGPT. You scripted it out with ChatGPT and just told you, said whatever ChatGPT told you to say. What is going to suck for your business is people are going to come to your offerings because they're like, yeah, wow, I'm getting a great guide who like says things in a cool way and says things, says it's not this, it's that. And ChatGPT is never fucking saying anything when it says, oh, it's not this, it's that. And you're like, it's not what? It's what? Both of these things are not tangible, don't make sense. And now people are just copycats of the next bullshit course that isn't personalized for you and doesn't get you to that next era. It's not based in anything real or tangible, and it's not based in anything ancient and soulful. And so luckily you're in the right place because my shit's based in both. And yes, I use AI, but sparingly and in the right places. Maybe to create an outline, but obviously this is me talking, correct? Yes, this is not all scripted. You can tell that I'm flowing naturally. And maybe you do need to write the whole thing out the first time that you um, go live for in a new topic or to create a reel. Scripting is not terrible. It's actually like something, it's actually a spiritual practice used in the manifestation world to script your next era. It's totally fine if you want to write a script, and you need to tell your own personal stories. AI doesn't know them. And what's going to suck for your business and ruin your reputation is when they come to your program and expect to be guided by whatever creature made that post, and they get somebody who doesn't talk like that, who doesn't have those beliefs, who doesn't have those values. They're going to be very, very disappointed, and it is going to ruin your reputation. They're going to feel baited and switched, and it's not, it's not for people who don't know their own voice. My books were not written by ChatGPT. Like, none of that. Like, I have no problem with AI to use it to shortcut time. I have lessons on that as well. But like, you need to own your voice first. You need to cultivate your own authentic expression first, or this is going to be another trend that comes and goes. The robots will never take a coach's job because they actually suck at it. They're people pleasers, and real coaches are not. I'm not people pleasing you here. I'm telling you what's going to work. I'm telling you what's not. I'm telling you what, even if it's tough to hear, even if it hurts your feelings because you like have created every post with ChatGPT, it's not a match. It's not a match. And stop avoiding marketing and authentic expression to save time, because that's where your business really thrives, is in the authentic expression of why you love what you get to do and who your work is for, and having that come out of the base of your own deepest voice. Okay. I'm not against the robots, but I am not scared that this thing is going to take my job. It's a people pleaser, and all people pleasers will eventually fail at coaching because it's not real coaching. People have hired me to get results. So when I'm telling them something in my program, I'm telling them with kindness, with the love of a mother, of a father, of a auntie, of an uncle who really, really, really cares. And coaching is good coaching is going to deliver you things that might be reality checks, but that get you the result that you want, that get you the success that you want, just like I'm telling you now, right? So then the fourth is avoiding mentorship because you're afraid of being seen. And that leads me to this fourth one, because if you've gotten, like, I'm a DIYer, like I can get myself to a certain place lots of times without investing in myself. But just like, I watched these curly girl videos, did my hair all perfect. Like, this is so cool. Like, what I'm seeing here right now. I eventually dip back into the cult of average. I don't keep up with my habits. I don't apply this because I'm not invested there. I'm not invested there. Now I'm invested. I got all the right products for my hair, like, so I'm invested there. I have the products. I have the like $20 brushes. I'm invested now, right? But there's going to be a dip. And if you dip, if you forget, if you easily forget, or whenever you're challenged, you stay stuck, you need a mentor. There is no way around this. You can keep trying to DIY and hack your way to success, but the less you're invested, the less your results. It's just so true. Now, here's the caveat. I've invested $100,000 in my success and then $6,000 more last year. And I will continue to invest. I will invest in um, my team. I invest in learning. I invest in the new hair products, new software. Like, I invest in it, I invest. I don't keep investing more when I initiated into this knowledge. It was an investment. I went into a course. I had a living teacher that guided me personally to understand the Enneagram. And then I, with my own smarts, mapped the hero's journey onto the Enneagram to create my own thing, because I'm not here to just pass on and just pass on. No, I'm here to add my own creative spin, and you probably are too. So it's not that I'm going to be teaching you exactly what to teach to your people. You already know, you already have your tools, but I am going to be helping you and initiating you into the second level of business, out of the cult of average and into making consistent revenue month after month after month, with systems in your business that allow for it to be sustainable. How does that sound? Now, I have two mentorship levels that are available only this month. So if you're watching this in the future, you can still apply. I'm leaving the application in all the places that links are available. So you can still apply, and you'll want to reach out and ask me if I actually have a space available. I look over all applications, and right now I am accepting an influx of applications, and I have set aside time on my schedule to look through every one of your applications, because if you're not accepted this time, then I will give you some lessons, some resources to get you ready for the next time, or maybe my school is a better fit for you. Because folks that are there, certain people are accepted into my school. I don't have an application for that. Um, I have like standards, but I don't have an application for that. But this is an application only mentorship, because I really, really pour in to my clients. So you get Monday through Friday access to me. Sometimes I wake up with ideas for you and I initiate a reach out, and that's cool too. I do not give busy work. You get everything that I've ever created, but this is not a course. This is not you learning something new. You might need to learn new systems, you might need to learn new things, but it's not just about learning something new. It's about seeing what you might not be able to see, holding space for any challenges that are coming your way, so that you can quantum leap through those challenges and not stay stuck swirling in mindset loops, or just feelings that nobody is holding space for or nobody else understands. Because I know that this means something to you. And feelings are not what, we're not avoiding feelings to get to work. We honor every feeling that comes across our desk, but we don't attach for too long. And I'm going to be there with you, holding space for your feelings, for your challenges, and for your next era ideas. I'm going to believe in you when you might not be able to believe in yourself. This mentorship is incredible. This mentorship is incredible. So I have two options: a 6-week high impact incubator, where we'll work on one or two aspects of your business. If you want to put in systems, I'll assess and audit your business, see what systems you need, and I'll go about teaching you what you don't know, guiding you in the right direction of what you need to learn, the systems you need, the systems that you don't, period. If you want to work on messaging, you don't feel like your message is attracting the next era client that you're here to really work with. It's attracting freebie seekers only, or people that drain your energy, or people that have a million questions, but the questions aren't inspiring you. Then that comes from your message. It's not their fault. Your message is calling them in. So we'd work on your message. If you choose the 4 month, we'll work on every aspect of your business in 4 months, including really solidifying a devotional presence for you, because 4 months is a long term thing. Like in 6 weeks, we can get in spot coaching, see what you need to elevate in. If you're not sure, but you know you want to join for the 6 weeks, I do an assessment on your business in our first call. So then I will map your path onto the Enneagram for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. And then we'll walk it together. Okay. But you'll have the path. So even when our mentorship ends after 6 weeks, then you will, if you didn't, complete everything, you'll still have the pathway forward. You complete it on your own, or you can re-enroll if I feel like I have space for more one-on-one. But this is why, for anybody who knows that they don't want to rush, that they're not in scarcity of like, oh my God, when I work with people in scarcity, it's like, oh God, like I feel like that's why you're repelling clients, because you're in scarcity. And they, people want to be in a calm presence when they are being taught, when they're learning something new, when they're receiving transmissions. They don't want to be with somebody who's like living in scarcity. And it might be true that you need extra money this week or this month or this year. And like, if you're still coming from a place of scarcity, like, I can help you with that, but don't project that shit onto me. Don't come and go like, okay, I just want, the cheapest thing, and then expect me to help you transform your entire freaking life. I actually would notice that in your application and I wouldn't accept you. But what I'm saying is like, come calm, come correct. Like, this is a filling out this application, do it with reverence, because you're at the foot of I'm not the monk, but this is a sacred teaching. You're at the foot of your next era, which gets to be holy. So do it with reverence. I mean, you don't have to revere me, you don't have to worship me, and take your next era to heart, and be responsible for the energy that you bring into the space. Most of my most successful clients have been. They come to me, sometimes they're a little bit anxious about things, but when I say, hey, this is what I'm seeing, they don't get defensive, because I say it with love. But even if I said it direct, then it's because you need to hear it direct. And a lot of people only receive, a lot of strong women only receive direction when it's given directly. So like, if you're a strong woman, or have tendencies of people pleasing, like, you just got to be ready to elevate. This is not for somebody who is choosing to stay stuck, who has the same story for the last year of like, oh, I don't have time. Like, get yourself to a certain level of, I'm not making any more excuses. I'm coming full heart to this investment. And here's the thing, why I'm offering this now is I'm doing a summer promotion. At the 4 month level, you're saving $2,000. So this is not just for anybody. I will extend your payment plan if you are the right person, but you can't pay in full. This is not for the first person who can pay me in full. I don't give a shit. I want my business every day to feel like I am making an impact in somebody's life. So I don't work with people who look to coaches as saviors, punching bags, mommies, none of that. So, like, I know that there's somebody out there that feels the way that I do about their business, and who wants to have that same level of confidence to be able to tell their people, like, here's what you need to do, get it together so you're ready for this level of coaching. And here's what you do to get it together. Here's what you can do to get it together. Here's some practices here, like I did today. Here are 4 hidden habits. If you have these habits, you are welcome to still apply, and already apply this coaching, so that when you come to the application, you already know that you've been treating your business like a hobby and you don't want to anymore. You already know that you've been comparing yourself to other people and their success and the new fandangled girl on the block, and you're losing your calling in the process. And that's okay. And you know that because today, and you're not going to do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. You're going to come and you're going to be vulnerable. And you're going to tell me in that application that that's the problem you want to work on. You're not collapsing in an income dip, right? Like you might have collapsed, but that's why you're applying, to have somebody hold you to your vision, right? And you're no longer avoiding mentorship, right? Like even if you've invested a lot in yourself, if you want to get to that next era and you know that it's going to be more fun, more easeful with somebody who cares about you, who knows a system of knowledge and wisdom that you have not been initiated into yet, come and initiate me if you want me to give you the goods for free. It's a free book I wrote. Um, and yeah, like let's go. I cannot wait to see these special humans, because I'm taking one client at each level, 4 months, 6 weeks. You get to decide. But the 6 weeks is not for someone who wants to pay less. It's for somebody who knows what they want to work on, knows they only need spot coaching. So you can't come to me and be like, transform my whole life. You want to transform your messaging, you want to transform your offer, you want to transform your systems, right? And you want to have the kind of confidence that I have to be like, I would rather repel the wrong people than weigh my business down by just trying to, work with people because I'm in scarcity and I need money. That's not what we're doing in our next era. So don't be afraid to apply, because if you're not a right fit, you still might be a right fit for my school. And my school is incredibly affordable. And if you pay in full, you actually do get one-on-one call. So like, don't count yourself out. If you apply and I'm like, okay, applications have closed, I've accepted somebody, I'll put you on a wait list and I'll give you free mentorship for that moment of like where I see you need to work on. I'll give you like an assessment where I see you need to work on to be ready for mentorship when it opens back up. Or like you might already be ready for the school and the school is only $250 a month. Okay. So, all right. Well, that was so beautiful. I can't wait to see who applies for this. Let me know if you have any questions. You can DM me, but the best place to get your questions answered is in email. My DMs, I'm not like a social media girly. Like it may seem like that, but my business is run on email. So take note of that. Like I'm not available to everyone in the DMs, all like, leaky energy everywhere. So I might miss your DM because DMs go into like this folder and that folder. And I'm just not like there on social media all day. Like I post my post and I pop off, or I am there to consume and scroll, and that's fun for me, but I'm not really interacting with people. Like all serious businesses have an email that you can inquire, and all real businesses will have better systems to bring people off of social media. So if you don't have that yet, then that's what I would love to help you create. And if you have any questions, email me at hello@freeyourcreativity.org. And if I don't get back to you, it's because you put .com and not .org. But my emails are all over the place. Like you can message me, you can DM me, but if I didn't get back to you, it's because it's hidden or something. So, or I didn't want to. So just know that, because how you approach a teacher is important, right? And sometimes I just don't answer everybody who, especially if they're assholes. So all that to say, I know you're not an asshole, and I can't wait to have you message me. And I'll talk to you so soon. Bye.